for game number 4. It's already started.
Yeah, when Applejacks have dropped in, you might have had a team not connect or drop out early on with 3 games left to go. Don't like seeing that. 57 players remaining, of course, 1 full squad gone. Applejacks, they've already got 2 blue armors here, as it looks like the ring will be pulling down south once again. This time it's going to be a launch site ending. There should be a lot of contests there. As right now, what I'm really looking towards is going to be teams like Charlotte Phoenix. When you have such a southern zone, they'll be able to continue to play their style, find fights on the edge, and that's what they did extremely well there in game number 3. I believe this was one of the squads that they ran into. The no-name rotate coming out, and you can see pretty ahead of time with 2 minutes left to go. They are trying to get out of there, out of the rotation path of that squad. Team Intel, though, looks like they might be in a spot of bother, but it's Team Pringles taking this fight once again. The Mimikins have won out this 50-50 in the last 2 games, but this time around, maybe Pringles can turn it around.
We'll see how Phony wants to play this one. He looks to go jump into the bubble. Jalapenos going to go down, but it gets answered right back, and Pringles is looking fairly weak, but they do have the advantage right now to press it over towards this high ground. All he needs to do is connect with a couple more shots, but he's going to go for the battery instead. Possibly a fake res coming in here, or maybe just a bubble for a little bit of quicker healing. And it is. You can see the battery being popped. And now the full heals starting to come in on both sides. We're going to be down to a 1v1 here between the Mimikins and Team Pringles. Team Pringles started off winning this one, but possible third party will come in here anytime.
Yeah, you saw the crypto drone coming in. Fast res out for Team Pringles here. They need to recover very quickly. The climb up does come out from that Gibraltar. He climbs on in, but it is a 2v1, and he wins that out. Phony was not there to try and help challenge him as he was popping that med kit. And so now back down to a 1v1, but the longer this fight takes, the higher the likelihood of the third party. Arcstar connects onto the down player, and he will be able to secure that, but I don't even know if he gets the kill credit there, as his team is now out. The Mimikins, though, still have to recover the third parties. You can see that might be Applejacks coming in from their tree rotate.
Yeah, they're all starting to swarm in. Looks like Lonely Fans is on the way for a rotation too. So I'm not sure if that was the same team or not, but I believe they were coming from inside of Sorting Factory. This is an outside of Sorting Factory rotation. So a very fast rotation coming in from Lonely Fans. They're going to get into a priority position and going to go and just try to scan the banners to see how many hostiles are around. Looks like no teams within 200 meters. So if as long as it's not bugged, they should be okay. And he's like, wait a second, I'm used to this being bugged. So let's go kind of like check out again and just make sure, all right, we're clear. So that's an experienced crypto player right there.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful at this point. Launch site ending, and so a lot of squads trying to get position over here. A lot of medkits being thrown down as well. As down by Dome, it looks like Team Cheez-It have a squad ahead of them. Prodigy Aces has to duck back in. He took some damage, was cracked, will pop that bat for the time being. Wonder who that could be rotating in through this pathing. Kind of strange, but they do fully recover, and it looks like he does go for a second peek on out. That squad trying to hold the north side of Dome, which can be a good position, but you need to be seasoned on being able to hold this one down. Prodigy Aces with a good spray on that R301, but it was a Gibraltar ahead of him. They're not going to try and force the issue here and still play this one a bit slow. We have 18 squads left, so who knows how many teams could try and rotate through. Oh boy, Charlotte Phoenix have found out that squad once again. Blue Wolf instantly gets thirsted by Bronzy.
Yeah, Bronzy's scout shots and Mercy only as well have been really on point. Team Cheez-It, it looks like that team is going to run away, so they'll notice that fairly shortly, and then they'll start to continue to advance and start to gather information. Looks like Prodigy Aces is putting out some pings on where they want to go and start and set up, but they just want to make sure that the coast is clear because that was kind of an awkward rotation. I'm not sure exactly what team that could have been. Maybe the Geyser team took the Geyser, took the balloon, and landed on them right behind that area, and that could have been the only thing that I could consider as Team Cruelty going to come through with a very quick mop. See if I could get that battery off. Midnight looks like he's going to be able to heal up too, and they're going to be safe inside this beacon building.
Yeah, right now with 17 squads, 50 players remaining, there is one squad that is currently missing a player throughout all of this. I believe that might have just been that kill that Charlotte Phoenix were able to find early on. Again, the ring pulling down all the way over here to launch site. Everyone knows what some of the strongest positions are. As you can see, Applejacks are trying to play the south side of that one. We do have to keep an eye on that. They have been really good calling these zones as Team Cruelty, just looking for the fights on the edge. This might mean they run into maybe Charlotte Phoenix here. It's Prodigy Aces though. In a fight, he's stuck here on the high ground, drops down to the low to pop that bat, and he still needs the med kit up as well. Joey Blackout is disconnected from them, so it looks like they will just go ahead and retreat. Croissant Warriors, though, over here by Tree, get themselves into a fight. They already got one knock, but Wizzy with that triple take will be able to answer back. And we'll see if they have a bubble to try and get that res, but Aski's going to try and climb back to his squad. They don't have the bubble, actually. They're playing without the Gibraltar, and so this is going to be difficult now. Croissant Warriors down to a duo. NPL coming in for the third party as well. Defensive bombardment has been used by Dracos. Bambino is on the Bangalore as well. And somehow throughout all that, Ronnie is still connecting with shots. With that flatline, he gets challenged on the roof, pulls out the EVA 8, and a lot of damage to Rambo. But where's the rest of NPL? They are inside. Finally getting the knock onto Rambo, and it looks like they will be able to finish that facade off. And so now we're down to 16 squads, 45 players remaining as NPL. They pick up the banner of Ronnie, but they need to find a way out of this building to try and get this res.
See what Bambino's going to have in store. I mean, they're going to have to throw some smokes over towards the side, and then obviously they don't have a Wraith here, so they're not going to be able to portal back to the loot immediately, and that team may end up full sending it. So he's going to end up throwing a smoke at the entrance, probably throw another smoke over towards where that cave is, and then make his way through. Now, Team Cheese, it looks like they want to start infiltrating this building. We'll see if Joey Blackout has a scan.
Oh, Rakinishu getting some decent damage off with that R301, ready to push in as a full 3. They've got the bubble down to make the entry, but the Thermites are slowing them down as that squad just backs away. A scan comes out from another angle, and they've got to be careful. Defensive bombardment has been used, and it does get some connects here, as that's some big damage. Joey Blackout creates the opening here. It was Team Pop-Tarts already down to 1. Cheez-It should be able to finish this one off. Now, flurry of fights as Charlotte Phoenix did end up fighting up against Team Cruelty and took that one, it looks like, easily. 14 squads, 38 players remaining.
Joey Blackout with the Arc Star, and then the teammate runs into the other player, and then they get double damage on that one. And somehow Joey Blackout is the only player on his team to actually go down when he probably did about 350 damage throughout all that fight. Nice play by him. And it's all about that Bloodhound scan at the right time. So that was just perfectly executed. And now Rockstar starting to make a little TSM-like rotation. Maybe not 2 jump pads, but into the jump pad into the Geyser. So nicely done.
I was hoping maybe there was a second jump pad here at the end, but they are safe in this zone. They were able to bring up that ring information for us, and we can see why holding the south side of launch can be extremely strong. This ring tending to pull down towards that area. And they have some cover here to work with, but they want to keep on the move. Looks like Tech keeping an eye behind him as well. Does have the EMP at the ready, and Rockstar looking like they want to get aggressive on this position.
Yeah, Tech's great at putting his team into position, especially when you have crypto and you can hit those scans over and over again. Looks like they wanted to go and use the Octane to go and hit a rotation, and now they're going for another rotation using the balloon up onto the high ground. But taking the balloon in a tournament, always so risky. The rule is as soon as you get shot, you have to hop off. McLean took massive damage. Flank coming through, but it's just a volt, and that thing is going to overheat, and you're going to have to reload that. And it's Tech with some really nice initial damage, but they are in the middle of nowhere, so they may need to back off from this one, heal up, maybe use the bubble if you're Kenny if you have it, but they can't go and do the rotation that they want now. So now they're basically stuck here having to play this little choke. So we'll see if they're going to elect to stay here or try to do something differently.
Luckily, they fend off this push. The portal was used by the squad as well. And L-Star, not the greatest for clearing drones, but looks like Rockstar do have to deal with this squad. Tech is making the call. He's on the front line. Surprisingly enough, we'll go ahead and grief that door to try and get the thermite in. As the scan does come out, defensive bombardment has been used throughout all of this. Here comes the EMP. The bubble is down for Team Rockstar as well. That will cancel that one out, gets a big connect, but it was a 2v3 fight, and Team Rice Krispies instantly push out and punish them. What a win for Rice Krispie Treats.
What a defensive bombardment there from Bird, who has switched off Caustic now on over towards Gibraltar. That defensive bombardment was so good. They realized that they had the EMP coming through. If they could keep them outside for quite some time, that's going to do exactly what they need to do. Tech wasn't able to make it in there. He got a lot of damage onto him. He got slowed, and then they just were not able to finish that fight off. Rice Krispie Treats, the big thing for them, not one player knocked, they're able to reset immediately. Now Team Cheez-It is in a fight as well, and Team Intel.
Yeah, they got to be careful. A lot more teams are now in the area, as of course the ring getting smaller and smaller. Joey Blackout will be able to rejoin his squad, popping that bat for the time being, as they've been holding inside dome for some moments now, and they do have a team just peppering away at them. It looks like finally they do have the Mimikins trying to get full aggressive. They've got 2 knocks. It's the 1v3 for Team Cheez-It.
Yeah, poor Mimikins, they were popping off over towards Sorting Factory, but not nearly as much luck over towards the Dome side. And Dome's always interesting because the fights are just so, symmetrical. It's amazing that you could go through and pick and choose your battles, and kind of reminds me a lot about Halo and the arena shooters that we kind of grew up playing, where everything is just so evenly spaced that the fights just really aren't about the high ground. It's more about your baiting and switching and gun skills. So Team Cheez-It is doing a great job of showcasing that they're really good at skirmishing. And we have Rakinishu now back on Gibraltar, which I'm extremely excited about. I feel like he's one of our strongest Gibraltars in all of Series Z. Also, we saw the power of Gibraltar from Bird before.
And we have a scan out. They have a team ahead of them playing the north side of this dome. As Rakinishu tries to find an angle onto them, and he knows he has to be careful throughout all of this. We do have the ultimate cells as well, as Team Razor now in a fight down here. That tree connector right out in the middle of the open. Defensive bombardment goes down as Muffins tries to push up, has another scan for himself, and finds the players right there on the other side of the dome. Has to be careful, but he does get the nades out, forcing them out onto the left-hand side. There's the big connect. He's hitting for flesh, doing a lot of damage as the full commit comes out from Team Razor. Hakulo dropped down low, but he does survive, as Jibby Neutron is going to go ahead and tank that one up. Wizzy answers finally back, gets 2, and somehow Wizzy wins this one out, but he does have to just give up on the rest of his squad as the third party is there. They both fall. Team Applejacks, though, now holding the south side of this zone as it continues to pull down. Team Cheez-It still playing around with the squad that's just to the north of them.
Can we talk about Wizzy right there? Getting Wizzy with it? That was absolutely nuts. That was not a fight that you expect him to pull off. Basically a 3 versus 1 in that scenario. Yeah, they were all weak, but he comes through and doesn't even allow any of them to heal, and then just sprays them all down immediately. But Team Cheez-It, we've been on board with them a lot this game. Why? Because they've been winning a lot of fights and holding this very slowly and methodically over towards this side. I think that a lot of teams were focusing on launch site and this dome rotation, this holding the dome and keeping the zone towards your back proves really useful, especially look at all the resources that they have.
Yeah, they were able to win out 2 team fights here in Dome, ferry a lot of it on over. You got the armor swaps to work with as well. And it's 30 seconds before this ring finishes closing here, and they're safe. We'll see where this ring pulls down to. Back on board with Applejacks, who have been holding on the south side of launch site, looking for some kill points. But this isn't a position that typically in the early game or the mid game finds you the kills. Oh, Joey Blackout had Bronzy ahead of him, got the knock. They're trying to get the thirst, but you have to be careful. Defensive bombardment has come down. Joey Blackout taking a lot of damage there, but they will be safe. How much can they punish Charlotte Phoenix for this? And they just recover here. The bubble has been used, and that is not going to be a fast rest for them. As soon as they see it, you know that Cheez are going to push off of this. And so Charlotte Phoenix now down to a duo, as Team Cheez doing a great job of holding down this side of their zone.
And now they can rotate very similarly to how they would with very end zone, just so it was zone 5 or 6 here. Going into round 4, you can see that little crevice that they have over towards that south side. Very easy rotation over from the eggshells. All they have to do is just hold down these solid teams and realize that they have a great advantage right now with having that zone towards their back. So they're going to regroup and again let all this action just happen in front of them. That's the key, especially when you've already picked up a lot of kill points. This is when all the placement points really start to matter, and you can really pick up a big chunk that way.
Here's Team Intel making a play onto Team Applejacks, though, I believe. As 6 gets some opening damage, scan out, will slow them down. As Panders is actually focusing on the rotate. The portal has been used, and they have made way to the south side of the zone, so they can try and pressure Applejacks from this angle instead. Looks like a small bit of that building is still alive for them. And now spotting out a squad that was on top of the eggshell. You got to be careful with that Gibraltar Dome because the bottom is available for teams to try and fire through. Pride going down to P-Fitter. So Rice Krispie Treats picking up more. They're on the rotation now. He will be able to finish them off. Defensive bombardment goes down, and Panthers wants to get aggressive, try to find something here. It looks like that squad just backs away for the time being. Nades do come out, forcing them back as Metro takes a lot of damage. He was still sitting on white Evo. Will slow heal this one up with some cells and still needs to heal his health as the defensive bombardment goes down on top of them. They got to be careful, but they full commit into the eggshell. Now 6 still with the G7 scout. It's Metro to get the knock. Aves answers back. It's Applejacks coming in, and Panders left in this 1v2. No cover to work with. Applejacks take out Team Intel.
Another great defensive bombardment there from Duplex. Once the bubble goes down, you only have to wait a couple of seconds, but unfortunately for Applejacks, we don't have time to talk about that because a third party comes through, and that's going to be Frog Juice and his squad. So playing spoiler, one of our new open teams over here, as we take a look at our Tomcat Rat Cam over here, it's going to be Mercy trying to milk some points over here for the Charlotte Phoenix.
Prodigy Aces takes out Rollers as well, so Applejacks might go down just in the top 7. Their least high finish so far throughout the day, I would say. Team Cheez-It will be able to go ahead and secure that kill. And again, being able to play the late game so early on. Take a look, even with this high ground position, they're in for the next zone as well with some great angles. As Charlotte Phoenix, they still have one alive and they were able to pick it up. Mercy only securing top 6 for his squad, and Team Cheez-It have been on an absolute terror here in this game.
And the momentum just continues to go on their side. It's always nice when you've had such a good game and now you have high control. You can sense the rats over towards the side, and the rats are also the players that are sitting kind of on the top of that leaderboard. And look at that great spray from Rakanishu. His tracking is just continuing to prove as the game's going on, but they have so much to work with right here. If they want to even hold their back for as long as possible and then own all of that real estate in front of them, they're going to force all of these teams behind the eggshell and basically own 80% of the zone.
Yeah, importantly, they set this up for themselves by being able to win every single fight they took in this game, clearing out the entire southeast side of the zone. And wow, they have full control over this right now as they do get that thirst onto Daniel Ho. Now with 5 squads remaining, 13 players left, they have the best position. All the teams funneling in now from the northwest side. This is going to be Cheez-It trying to find as many kill points for free in the late game.
This is perfect for Team Cheez-It, as Rice Krispie Treats is one of those teams that has a struggle in front of them. We'll see if Sunny elects to use a portal. Right now would be the perfect opportunity to do it, but instead they're just going to foot this one in. A little bit risky, a couple grenades coming through here. I do like the use of the utility right here to just kind of buy some real estate in front of them, but I believe that is the Team Cheez-It over towards the side that they are pushing up onto. So we'll see what happens here with possibly Rakanishu using a defensive bombardment to buy him some time over towards the side.
Yeah, we got 4 squads remaining, zone closing up. Stunny has to fall back to his squad. He's taking so much ring damage as well. He might just go down. He will. Maybe. Got that Q off to survive, and he did get in. Here comes the rest of Team Cheez-It, though, as they want to get aggressive. The bubble will go down shortly. Joey Blackout with that triple take can put in massive work from the side here. Rakanishu peeking from up top. And now they're getting laid into. 3 squads remaining. It's a 3v3v3 as somehow they survive. But for how long as Rakanishu gets that knock? Bird comes in with the knock on to Prodigy Aces, and now they're just down to Joey Blackout. The top 3 here as he wants to try and secure at least top 2 for his team, but he has poured it out, taking a lot of damage there, falling back, and he will fall. It's all up to GS Bird left in this 1v3 as his teammates bleeding out, and Lonely Fans coming in for the third party to finish this one all off. They're a little bit silent throughout the game, but they will be able to take this win here in game number 4.